So your soul chooses a personality expression, and it creates that. And it creates that by choosing a name, which is the point of this work, which through the law of attraction, it programs into your physical body, into your DNA, into your, what we call, karmic matrix. It's probably no coincidence. It's sort of linked to the idea of the movie The Matrix. Because this is the matrix, except there are no machines. Okay? And the karmic matrix is a grey cobweb-like energy that's in your physical and energetic bodies, and it's programmed with the vibrations of your name. And by the law of attraction, they create every moment of your life. And if you understand what that core source program is, then you can actually get on with your life and things can start to flow a little better, which is what this work is about. So you choose 2 or 3 names, which is to give your parents the illusion that they have some choice, some free will choice, and hopefully they pick one of them. 99% of the time, they get it right. And this name is emanating from you from the time you were born, or even before you were born. And so, this name creates your conscious personality. It creates every moment of your life. And that's your birth certificate name. Okay, so we tend to be very casual about names in the West, but even if you change your name, you change your life. So in understanding your birth certificate name, you can work out where your soul wants to take you. And if you understand where it's taking you and you align with that, life opens and flows. Okay, so how many of you feel you've had a really rough life? Yeah, and this is because we tend to turn away from the natural flow of our soul. Okay, so let's find out, how do we actually interpret what our name means. So we use this ancient symbol, the Star of David. And so this is really a gateway of consciousness. And you have to have certain programs built in within this structure. It's in your energy fields before you can come to the earth plane. So it has 2 large triangles. We have a large downward pointing physical triangle, and this represents the physical side of life. You have to form like an interface with the physical reality. You have to learn to walk and talk, get conditioned responses. You have to arrive here. Relationships, careers, kids, houses. How many of you had the midlife crisis between about 35 and 42? Or earlier? Okay, midlife or spiritual awakening, where you may have felt that you look at your life, your job, relationship, feeling this doesn't actually really cut the mustard. This just doesn't do it. There's got to be more to it. How many of you had that, and you go and search for it, and you want to find that there's something much more, and you're going to find it no matter what? Well, that's when this large spiritual triangle here activates, and that's your soul saying, okay, you set a good foundation, so let's get on with the real meaning of why we're here. And so the spiritual mission activates. And the idea here is that this is going to be grounded by the physical triangle, provided you've worked through enough of those issues there. And so within each of these large triangles, these 3 aspects, we have karma, talents, and goals. So karma, cause and effect, but actually what it really is a set of unresolved past life issues that you bring in this lifetime to create the negative context for this life. So have you noticed it, and when you're younger, you get everything you don't like in life, and then you get very clear what you do want, and your soul programs this in deliberately. So if you didn't have everything you didn't like initially, you wouldn't focus on what you do want. So for example, how many of you have felt very disempowered in life? Disempowered. Yeah. Yeah. And so we often program in disempowerment, so we get clear, well, I don't like being victimized or abused in whatever form. I want to come back into my power somehow. And so this triggers us down the pathway our soul wants us to go. So within our karma, we have the biggest challenges, which most people in life turn away from, which is why life gets harder. Have you noticed how spiritual people tend to look younger? People who've worked on themselves emotionally, they look younger. It's because they're not carrying all the karmic programming, and those who don't get old a lot quicker, and life can become very bitter because the karmic load's still basically torturing them. So the idea of the physical karma is to engage with, say, the disempowerment. I had a lot of that when I was a child. And then to transmute that shadow energy into the gift of empowerment to create the opposite out of it. And so for those of you who are searching for the real meaning, look at your greatest challenges, because within that lies your greatest gifts. And you overcome this karma by activating the latent physical talents, and the energy flows into that. And if it's a good match in terms of consciousness, the quality of the energy, and the power, it will transmute that and the gifts will emerge. The talents will get stronger, then that will help you achieve the physical goals. And this is what gets you out of bed in the morning, what excites you about life, in the physical world, in the outer-facing world. And when the spiritual triangle, which runs at the same time but with less emphasis when you're younger, but as you get older and awaken spiritually, it gets stronger, the spiritual karma contains your spiritual gift, which you'll deliver to the world. It's how you open to higher consciousness if you work through the karmic challenge and transmute it. That's why people say, I wouldn't want to be younger again, maybe younger body, but I'd like to have the emotional experience of older age. It's because you know what's going on. And so latent spiritual talents are used to overcome spiritual karma. The gifts come online. This gets stronger, the spiritual talents. That helps you move to the spiritual goals. And if you work through all these 6 aspects consciously, which is what this work is about, you achieve the soul destiny, life purpose, divine purpose, whatever you want to call it, that thing that we all seek within us. From a very young age, I felt no one's telling the truth down here, and they're not doing their best. Something's badly gone wrong with the world. That's what I used to think. Okay, it's a little better now, but still got a way to go. So, and this is the reason you didn't get the answer to that question, or why am I really here, is because you hadn't worked through the 6 outer aspects of the chart. And so you get pieces of your mission, pieces of the reason for being here. The more clear you get emotionally by working through the soul contract, and the more you open to the higher consciousness, especially by working through the spiritual karma here.